Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
C3 Legion, once again, your Carolina Panthers are first place in the NFC South after a game-winning Lathan Ransom interception. What's up, C3 Legion? My name is Cody Lashney. Tony Dunn is doing some family things today. So you got me, the voice, and Mr. Shut the Hell Up himself on a game-winning edition of the C3 Postgame Show. Welcome. The Carolina Panthers walked away victorious today in a 23-20 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have your cat calls today at 252-228-5098. Jump in there now. Let your voice be heard. CK, my brother, we watched this game together. What a hell of a performance from these Carolina Panthers, man. So much to discuss.
Bro, it wasn't a perfect game. We had some errors, we had some drops, we had some players who made some mistakes on both sides of the ball. Xavier Legette dropping a pass and not knowing where he's at on the sideline to get a toe tap in, things like that. But then he comes right back on that 2-minute drive to end the first half to stiff arm his way out of bounds after getting a first down. Without him, his contributions on that drive, we may not have had an opportunity to actually get a touchdown to end the game. We have T-Mac, who also had his troubles, but at the end of the day, he was catching things when they were thrown his way, contested and what have you. And that's what you were asking for from a guy. I love some of the tweets that you're seeing, but this young team, these rookies on this team are contributing in a big way to this team. And they are a big reason this team is in the position that they are. Lathan Ransom with an interception to seal the game after what last week many would consider blaming him for the loss after that hit on Shug as he was sliding. He comes in and he makes up for it big time when it mattered most. The defense was up and down all game, but big time players make big time plays in big time games, and that's what we saw today. Bryce Young has still impressed every step of the way. Last week, he has been a centerpiece to why this team continues to roll forward. Bro, I am just happy about where this team is at. Next week, we're going to be depressed based on the way that this team works.
Win, loss, baby. It's going to come down to that final game of the year, no doubt.
Right now, destiny is calling, and the Super Bowl is on the doorstep, baby.
Yeah! Hey, man, look. This victory was so big for us. This was the first time that the Carolina Panthers have beaten a Baker Mayfield-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, Pickle, what did the Panthers say to Baker Mayfield today?
Shut the hell up. That's what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Down and shut the hell up.
Oh,
and all
man.
He say is, yes, Daddy.
Panther Pickle, how are you, brother, after this incredible victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to put the Panthers back in first place?
I'm amazing. I'm feeling great. Shout out to Nick Scorton, who many said hit a rookie wall. Normally when a rookie hits that wall, they're okay, but they're not real. They're kind of out of it for the rest of the year. And Nick Scorton said, hold my beer. And he showed him today he didn't, because he's had a lot of plays. And shout out to even when Lathan Ransom did redeem himself from last week, got the game-winning interception. It was Nick Scorton who said, get down. get down. And he
Yes,
did.
sir.
And that's a future leader right there, folks. That's going to be a future captain of our defense.
Dude, listen, today was by far, in my opinion, the best performance of Nick Horton's career. Getting pressures, getting to the quarterback. Like, the dude is just, he flies around. He has that motor that I can imagine is the reason why Dan Morgan drafted him in the first place. He takes no plays off. The dude's an absolute baller today. Dude, how about this draft class for the Panthers? Shout out to Sportsnet, who tagged me and CK in this tweet. It says T-Mac with the big touchdown, Scorton all day, J.C. Horn Jr. on a nice end around. And he could have had another big play if Bryce wouldn't have been pressured in the third quarter. Mike Evans, listen, I was expecting Mike Evans to just brutalize us today because that's normally what he does. But for the most part, we had him in check and Lathan Ransom coming away with the game-winning interception. It wasn't all pretty all game. And boys, I'll be damned if the referees weren't doing everything in their power to give this game to Tampa Bay. But we came away with a huge, huge W, man. Listen, let me read some of these super chats and we'll jump into it all the way. Duke Thunders with the $5 says all we have to do is lose to Seattle and beat the Bucks the week after, and we're in. Hey, dude, that's what the current trend is. Panther Cow with the $5 love bomb says hallelujah. Thought sure it was a loss incoming. The game was still rigged. Dude, I'm telling you, the Panthers won this game despite the best efforts of the referees to take it away from us. Another $5 from Duke Thunder says our two wide receiver sets could always feature T-Mac and Coke. I'm so sick of seeing Legette out there with the first team. Yeah, at some point, we're going to have a conversation about XL. A huge drop today, and just the non-awareness to keep your feet in bounds. Man, dude, we're going to have a conversation about him. And then J Vlog 27 says, love seeing them let Bryce running option plays. Boys, let's talk a little bit about Bryce Young. What did we make of him today? You know, I feel like in the NFL right now, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when the play breaks down. Like when Bryce has to break out to the sideline, and is so good at keeping his eyes downfield, making sure that his eyes are on the receivers, and avoiding the pressure. Like, dude, he looks like a prime Russell Wilson out there.
I kind of agree. I mean, he's really good at what the play breaks down. He's almost, when the play breaks down, he's almost better than he would if it don't break down. And you know, he still, it happens, but I think he would have a better record. We would have better if other people around him kind of did their job when the play broke down. But hey, this is a young team. Everybody's learning and everybody's growing. Yeah. And you know, I have no issues with Bryce at all. If y'all, I've said it before. I've been kind of hot and cold on this. But if I'm the Panthers and we make the playoffs or we don't at this point, how can you not give him that fifth-year option?
Yeah, at this point, CK, I think it's undeniable that for the future of this team and for going into next year, if there is a playoff appearance or there isn't, Bryce Young at this point deserves that extra year to continue to build. And look, I know Tua Tagovailoa recently got benched, and I don't think Quinn Ewers looked better today. I didn't see exactly what happened, but Tua had his best performance in year 4. It's looking like Bryce Young is continuing to ascend. When the game is on the line, he continues to make these incredibly clutch plays. Dude, it's hard to not be heartened at the performance of BY9 today, straight up.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I think about this performance was they were pressuring him consistently. He was navigating the pocket masterfully in many ways. There were some big time sacks that took place that put us in a position where we were behind the sticks, and that is a hard hard thing to get out of when you're a team that plays based on the rhythm. And that's really what we are. We're a rhythm team, a rhythm offense. And so that's certainly, played out in those drives that stalled out, unfortunately. But I'll tell you what, again, we have another situation going into the 2-minute warning in the first half. We had Bryce Young exercise a masterpiece of a drive that put us ahead of the Bucs going into halftime, knowing that they were going to get the ball back on the other side of the half, in which they did also score a touchdown at the beginning of the second half. But then again, we have another game-winning drive. Bryce Young throws the team on his shoulders and put one back on the tally for him, because he's got another game-winning drive to be able to, put a feather in his cap, if you will. The dude's clutch. I'll tell you what, I've been saying it for a few weeks here. This was just the beginning of the ghosts of Panthers past that we had to overcome to let destiny start to actually fall into place. And we did exactly what we needed to do. We need to go and do the same thing next week at home for our final home game of the season, unless we get a playoff berth against the Seattle Seahawks. We just need to keep this trend up.
Yeah, and listen, the Panthers were not really effective running the football today. We had a couple first down runs, but for the most part, this win and our offensive victory was on the poise of Bryce Young. I mean, not only when the play breaks down, but he was going through his progressions well, putting the ball right where it needed to be. Even the ones that he did miss, there was one with Jimmy Horn Jr., who was wide open, and he just had pressure right in his face. He scrambles out to the left. If he goes right, he probably hits Horn Jr. in stride. But Bryce Young, which is the best thing, I feel, is that he's playing his best football right now, even without Ike Ekwonu today. Some people said that who was it? Nyman playing left tackle today. He probably got away with a little bit of a hold on the play where Bryce scrambles out to the left and finds JT Sanders for the touchdown. But dude, the fact that he was able to step up in a big way today, in spite of some of the pressures, being able to keep his eyes downfield and put the ball in the hands of his receivers multiple times today. The beautiful pass to T-Mac in the end zone, finding Jalen Coker on that big play down the sideline. All of that was huge. And at the end of the season, I feel like Bryce Young is playing his best ball when our running game has not really been the best today, Pickle.
Absolutely. And you're right. And I mean, Bryce is playing really good, but in that play that he just missed Horn, that was open, makes you wonder, if he would have made him, with Horn's ability to get down the field quicker, if he would have spotted Horn and made the ball, would we have even needed to intercept the ball on defense?
We may not have. And I was listening to the actual Panthers radio broadcast for this, and they were basically, the breakdown of that play in protection. They got the pressure pretty quickly up the middle. And Bryce Young, if you guys, ever watch Bryce Young, he tends to, try to elude the pressure to his left. So he usually runs to the left. And if he had avoided his normal tendency, he would have run to the right where Horn was there. But because his tendency is to run left, his eyes stayed left. And that's a part of the reason why you see that ball go the way that it did. Again, Mike, those are moments that become big deals if we lost this game, right? We would look at that, and that's the part of perception when you're talking about games like this that are that close. We come back to Ron Rivera's thing, missed opportunities. And, he always said it came down to 3 or 4 plays in a game that were really the difference maker of the game, especially in tight contests like this. And had it gone the other way, that would have certainly been one of those plays we would have brought up. And then, told Bryce that he did have a play, a part to play in us losing. But here's the deal. That's not the way that this game went, and because of that, we can celebrate how incredible Bryce looked the remainder of the game. or the rest of the game. He didn't need to be a 300-yard passer, but he did need to be able to get outside of the pocket. He did need to be able to actually get first downs with his legs. They did need Bryce Young to show up and be more than just a quarterback today. And I felt like his leadership showed up. His excitement and energy is starting to become infectious on this team. And I tell you what, the body language of this team tells me that they are ready to win. Like this team came in here confident and feeling like they were the better team. They showed up and they proved it today. We just got to get some things shored up, and I'm hoping next week against Seattle we see the blowout I was hoping we were going to see today, but we'll see how that goes.
I mean, boys, literally. So we played former Panthers quarterback Baker Mayfield today. Shout out Mike Hollinger. Says one more win against the Bucs and we're in. But dude, how about we can wrap this up next week? I know we're on track for another loss if you're following the trend of the season with our win-loss. But if Miami does us a favor next Sunday and the Panthers manage to win their final home game of the season, boys, we are not just talking about a wild card here. There's going to be a playoff game in Bank of America Stadium. Are you kidding me, bro? Dude, we need this. I'm feeling pumped today. Dude, this was an incredible performance. And look, another thing I want to give a shout out to, boys, I could even hear it on the broadcast. The fans were out in full force. Those fans were in the stadium. They were loud. They were messing up the Buccaneers offense at the end of the game. Dude, I'm really proud of this fan base. And it just goes to show you that when something is on the line, when there is a meaningful Panther football to be played, Panther fans are out there, man. We are not the fair weather fans that a lot of the other fan bases out there make us out to be. We are out. We're loud. We're proud. We're ready to fucking show the Tampa Bay Buccaneers what time it was, man. These fans were great today, I felt.
Yeah, yes. They have been the past few weeks. Every time we've been at home. I mean, we've gone to other venues, and you've heard the Panthers fans as loud as the home team fans have been. That time in Atlanta, you kept on hearing "Keep Pounding" as we were playing that game. I mean, this fan base, it just needed something to grab a hold of when you've had just horrible season after season. But I'm telling you, this game could have easily been overrun by Bucs team fans. It could have. But we showed up. And I think Panthers fans have a part in this win, especially when you realize the false starts that took place there at the end of the game. That false start that happened, made it a little bit more of a difficult situation for them when it comes to trying to get a field goal, forcing Baker Mayfield to have to put the ball in the air instead of running the ball. I think that was a big deal. And the keep pounding, the loudness on third downs. I mean, it was audible on the broadcast. And Cody will even go as far as talking about one guy behind the broadcast, or in front of him that you could hear saying, "Take a shot," things like that. And that was that right before that play to T-Mac in the end zone. So it's exciting. It's exciting to have something to cheer for.
Pickle, could you hear that guy on the broadcast? I swear, there was a dude right behind the camera, and before Bryce throws the touchdown to T-Mac, you could literally hear a dude say, "Take a fucking shot," and the announcers even had to apologize for the F-bomb. Dude, it was awesome. The fans were out and about in the bank today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was cool. I remember watching the game, and I heard somebody in the background to the announcer scream, "We want Rico!" And I'm thinking, "Whoa, Cuba's better!" like they could hear me, but it was just would have been my response. And I did hear that one that you're talking about. Absolutely.
Now, listen, I do feel, and I don't want to harp on it too long. We want to keep the positive vibes, but I don't know. I feel like there has been a drop off of Rico Dowdle's play in recent weeks. Like earlier in the year, he was making these incredible jump cuts. He was making people miss. He was making people miss. He was running hard. But now I feel like today the turf monster got him a couple times.
Yeah.
That good old trusty BOA turf. But I just feel like something they had earlier in the season it's not there with him right now. Our running game is just not anywhere near as dynamic as it was to start the year.
Right.
But look, let's go to this, boys. Is Tedoroa McMillan the offensive player of the year? Dude,
Rookie, yes.
Offensive rookie of the year.
Yes.
How about this? On the year, T-Mac has 65 catches, 924 yards, and 7 touchdowns with 2 games left to play this season. Like, he's on track to beat the rookie passing yard record set by Kelvin Benjamin. Dude, how could you not love the first round pick for the Panthers this year? And he has proven himself to be the guy that Bryce is looking for on those money downs.
I was T-Mac. I'm sorry, bro. I was wrong. And when we drafted you, I went off the deep end. Y'all can look that up on YouTube. But I was wrong. As I often am about first round pick guides. And listen, I'd rather do that. I'd rather be wrong and keep pounding, brother. You're a Panther for life.
Dude, CK, T-Mac has been awesome. He is the guy that Bryce looks for in those clutch, gotta have it downs. He's looking towards T-Mac, and thus far, he's been great. I was tough on him after what I felt like was a couple really bad drops last year, but it was a nice game. But he made up for it big time today.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up when we needed him to show up. I tell you what, it's a great problem to have as a Panthers fan, and that is, who are you going to on third down, Jalen Coker or T-Mac? And I tell you what, I think you're going after, I think this is going to be as close to our version of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins that we're going to get. And so that, yes, he is the offensive rookie of the year, barring something ridiculous happening. The only thing that's going to change that outcome, and I don't even know if it's possible, and I don't know exactly when the voting from the actual reporters ties up things, but if that last game against the Panthers, he is the sole reason for the win because he just blows it off the water out of the door, meaning Ibuka, then it might go to him. But right now, barring something drastic like that, I think it's got, there's nobody else that you would put up there. Like, what are you going to put Jackson Dart up there? Come on now.
No.
Let's be real about it. Like, the only reason that he's popular is because his attitude. He's not a bad player. Don't get me wrong, but he is not some game-changing quarterback for their team just yet.
No. Look, man, dude, what an incredible performance today. So much to talk about. Shout out to our man Frog Out. All right, monitor went black. Let me see. Frog Out to F Pan said, shout out to C3 for giving the fans the voice. We are fam. I got my C3 with me. Keep pounding. And you know what? What a better time than to hear from these incredible fans of the C3 Legion, because this is your show. Call in. Let us know what you felt about the game today. The number is 252-228-5098. Boys, let's hear from these incredible fans of the C3 Legion.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
We're not hearing anything yet, Cody.
Podcast brothers, how y'all
Can I hear
doing? It's G. Cavassier.
Yeah, we can.
I know it's been a while since the last time y'all heard me. Hey,
What's up, G?
Sunday, my opinion, is the game of the week. but I know they're not going to televise it up here in Virginia because I live in Virginia. And all they show up here is damn Washington Commanders games, Steelers games, and Ravens games.
I feel you, big dog.
Hey, man.
I got to watch.
I was just thinking
on my
about this
TV.
shit, man. If we keep playing like we're playing, we're going to clinch the NFC South. Hear me out. Let's just say, because, you know, they said
Aren't you in
win,
for an excitement?
loss, win record. I'm saying the Panthers are inconsistent. They win one game, they lose the second one, and the third one they win. Let's just say that happens this Sunday. That we beat Tampa, then we lose to Seattle, and then we beat Tampa again on Sunday. That means we'll clinch the NFC South and make the playoffs. Me personally, I want a clean fucking sweep. I want to beat Tampa on Sunday. I want to beat Seattle next week, and then finish it off by beating Tampa for the last game. And call me crazy and everything like that. I can see us beating Seattle. I really can. If we beat the damn Rams, I think we can beat Seattle. I really do. I really do, man. So give me your thoughts on that, y'all. Because, you know, we got rip hard, man, this weekend, baby, for the South, man.
Yes, sir.
Carolina Panthers. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding. Boys, can we beat Seattle next week? I mean, listen, if you saw that game against the Rams, Sam threw some bad interceptions, but that team, man, they have a really good defense. They beat the Los Angeles Rams. Can we beat that Seattle team at home?
I think we can. I mean,
I think so.
I think so. We can. I mean, if you play the game like we played today, we can.
Right.
But and we should have a few more healthier guys back next week. And you know, if Sam gets careless with that ball, our guys are wanting the ball hawk, and I'm all for it. So I definitely think we can.
Yeah. No, listen, we have a great opportunity next week. And if we get Miami to do a little bit of damage against this clearly spiraling Tampa Bay team.
Yeah, if I just did I did the draft machine on Athletic just now. If the Panthers win next week and Tampa loses to the Dolphins, week 18 don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, the Panthers control their own destiny.
Right.
They control their own destiny. That's what's most important. Let's take another call from these awesome fans.
Hi, Tony. I hope to hear this message tonight after the post game. So I was wondering if the Panthers win tonight and they play the Bucs again in 2 weeks, and the only games that matter is against tonight and against Tampa, why not rest all your starters for the Seahawks games that has no outcome on the Panthers winning division? Why not rest up and beat the crap out of Tampa Bay in Tampa? What are your thoughts? Let me know on your podcast tonight.
Well, I think we just said, right? If Miami does us a favor and is able to beat Tampa next week and we come away and beat the Seahawks, well, then, boys, we're in. Like, you know, we're in. Now, maybe you want to talk about resting the starters. If we beat Seattle, Tampa loses to Miami, maybe you talk about resting the starters when we play Tampa the final time this year. But, you know, I also don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse. You know what I mean?
Right. I would rest a few guys, not really rest them, maybe even. Bryce is dealing with an ankle issue all year. He did in this game a little bit. Maybe, you know, maybe in game 18, if we got the division wrapped up by the end of the year, maybe play him half a game. Somebody like Derek Brown that you love, but you've got depth at tackle. You know, maybe you hold him out. You know, maybe J.C. Horn, depending on your depth at corner. Certain people like that, but definitely not the whole team or all the starters.
Yeah. Shout out to Brian B89. Says, regardless if we make the playoffs or not, the team is incredibly young. That point needs to be addressed. Amazing game by the defense today. dude, incredible game by the defense today. And look,
Mm-hmm.
I think no matter what, Ejiro Rivero is out the door, this defense is playing great. I do kind of think that we're probably still going to be moving on from Rivero at the end of this season. But the defense has been one of the better parts of the team all year, and I don't think that's deniable at this point. And then shout out to Vegas Panthers. Drew says D balled out today. Next game against them, we need to throw a spy on Baker. Dude, Baker killed us with his legs entirely too many times. Put spy on Baker once in a while, and Chuba needs to be running back one again. XL needs to be on the bench. Boys, we're talking about, yeah, go ahead. How do we feel about XL? Like, is it time? Are we saying that Xavier Legette is Jonathan Mingo 2.0? Like, what's happening here, dude? This dude has, no regard for the sideline. His spatial awareness is terrible. And then that crossing route today across the middle of the field, Bryce put the ball right in his hands, and then just bobbles it and drops it. Like, boys, this is what we were talking about in the offseason when we're like, hey, man, if you're going to be in rap videos and you're going to be at the Kentucky Derby and you're going to play like you're already a darling of the NFL, you better have a fucking amazing season this year because it's just going to come back to bite you on the ass even more. How do we feel about Xavier Legette with 2 games left in the season?
Yeah, I think Xavier Legette is not making progress, admittedly, right? Now, I am not. He had a big time play that was important to this team in the first half, right? So I'm not prepared to put the Mingo tag on him right now. But I think it's becoming pretty clear that he isn't what we wanted him to be being drafted in the first round, right? And the moment that we can realize that and we can all accept that as fans of the Panthers, then we can no longer have to be worried about Xavier Legette disappointing us, right? We're still looking at him as a first-round draft pick, and that's our problem. We need to stop that. We need to let him just be a player that's developing. And just like Bryce Young had his time, we need to give Xavier Legette his opportunity to be able to show up in a big-time game. And we have some time left, right? The problem is he's been mostly he's been Houdini on this
Not
team.
dependable. How about this? We have needed him to be a dependable number 2 wide receiver. I mean, we traded up into the back of the first round for him last year.
Yeah,
and right. That wasn't his fault. But when you're drafted in the first round, if it's unfair or not unfair, the expectation is that you are to play like a first round wide receiver. Now, you look at a receiver like Quentin Johnson for the Chargers, he has started to turn it on after 2 years of terrible drops. So hopefully that'll be the case for XL, but he has not been someone that you can depend on down the stretch as a reliable number 2 for Bryce Young.
Right. Now that play, the crossing route, I agree with that. That was on him. It was no excuse for that. The sideline,
that
could have been on Bryce.
No, that's 100% a Xavier Legette problem.
Where his feet were when he made the catch, one was already outside. He didn't step out. He stepped out. He
did that, but he does. I feel like a better wide receiver gets his left foot in bounds, whereas he does this giant wide step to the left and steps outside. Like
he had no awareness of where he was on the field as he's running towards the sideline. You should not be taking that big of a stride knowing the ball is there. The problem is, and they were talking about on the Panthers radio broadcast, that was 100% on Xavier Legette, right? This is coming from Luke and Jake Delhomme. I want to make that clear. That was 100% on XL. Now, what happens is he tries to catch the ball with his body pretty much 95% of the time.
Yeah.
And the
he's
problem
not a
with
hands
that,
catcher.
had he tried to extend with his arms and allowed his feet to stay in bounds like most NFL quality receivers will do, then he's got an opportunity to catch that. Now, to Xavier Legette's credit, he did follow that up maybe 2 plays later with a short pass across the middle where he stiffed arm his way back to get out of bounds. And that was while he made that unfortunate error with that boundary catch, not making it his feet in bounds, he was able to capitalize there at the after all. But the problem is like we can't continue to rely on a guy who makes one play a game.
Right. To throw this question out there, David Moore, and Robert Hunt both are on the verge of being active off IR. We could very well see both of them playing on Sunday, possibility against the Seahawks. Does that change the dynamics of Xavier Legette? Because could him still getting a lot of playing time could be the depth on the roster? Evidently, they like your man Hunter Renfrow just as a veteran in the room, but don't play. It really looks like that they're working Horn into some plays, but till he has that big game, they can't be confident in him taking some major steps.
And shout out to Spivey to go. Says he had that big time third down after that as well, just keeping it fair. Listen, I'm not ready to call him a bust, but I am ready to say that I have been incredibly underwhelmed. Like the dude doesn't have 300 yards on the year. He's been inconsistent the entire time that he's been here. And he has a bunch of drops that I feel like they're just, that it's on him. He also, like CK said, he will try to catch the ball with his body. He's not a great hands catcher to this point in his career. And I feel like for someone who is as big and as strong as XL is, I feel like he needs to go up and get a couple more and use that physicality to his benefit more, because I just haven't been seeing that, man. Boys, let's take another call.
And at number 1 in the NFC South, the Carolina Panthers, ladies and gentlemen.
Woohoo!
E3 Panther Nation, this is Preston from Hickory.
What up, Preston?
Damn right. That's what I'm talking about, boys. We are one step closer to winning this division and having a home playoff game. Man, I mean, look, it wasn't a pretty game. It wasn't a perfect game. Again, we have yet to see a perfect game from this team, but man, that was a team win. That was a team win. Lathan Ransom, man. Look, this young nucleus we have on this football team, offensively and defensively, again, my hat goes off to Dan Morgan. Dan Morgan did a really fine job of building this young football team up.
He definitely did.
And I mean, Nick Scorton, by the way, oh my God, he was a monster all game.
Dude,
Nick Scorton, Lathan Ransom with the game-selling pick. I mean, Bryce and T-Mac, that's going to be a great connection for years to come. How about Bryce to Jalen Coker on that third down? Man?
Yeah.
That turned out to be, a game sealer as well, because, I mean, he doesn't catch that. Yeah, we didn't, convert afterwards. But, I mean, Fitzgerald, I mean, he's becoming Mr. Automatic, man. I was not worried at all about him missing that kick. I knew he had it. I'm like, yeah, he's got that. And that's really important, man. We got a really good young nucleus. All these guys I'm naming, Scorton, Lathan Ransom, Ron Fitzgerald, Fitzpatrick, whatever the fuck his last name is, that dude, all those guys are rookies. So this team is set up for the future. Hats off to Dave Canales. Hats off to Dan Morgan. Man, we're a playoff team, boys. We are going to be a playoff team.
We are.
I really believe we're going to go down to Tampa Bay and whoop on them. We still got Seattle to worry about, but hey, we are number 1 in the NFC South since, 2015? Hell yeah. All right, boys, that's all I got this week. Keep
Pounded.
Keep pounding.
Keep
Appreciate
pounding,
you,
bro.
Preston. Boys, look, this has the potential to be the best all-around draft class in Panthers history. You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree.
from top to
Mhm.
bottom. I mean, look at the guys that made plays just today. Lathan Ransom, Nick Scorton, T-Mac, and Fitzgerald has been incredibly clutch. You know, it's like Jimmy Horn Jr. I feel like they need to continue to find ways to get him involved. Like, this has been a really incredible draft class for the Panthers, and I think Dan Morgan deserves all the pats on the back that you can possibly give him.
It's been one of those types of draft classes that I think from halfway through the season that we have all been saying that has been in far better than we would have anticipated going into this season. And I think it's on the same level. If we got offensive rookie of the year and we have a defensive rookie of the year candidate in Nick Scorton, now is he going to be the defensive rookie of the year? Probably not. But he is a candidate nonetheless. It reminds you of that Saints rookie draft class that was such a big impact for them when the Alvin Kamara draft took place. So it makes you excited about the future of this team, especially when you realize that he's hit as close to home run as you possibly can when you're talking about free agencies 2 years in a row. The Dan Morgan is cooking, and if you're one of the things that I had always said is I don't want to be a part of trading players away for fourth and third and fourth and fifth round draft picks until we can prove we can draft third, fourth, and fifth round draft picks.
Right.
And here we are, Dan Morgan showing that he has the capability of drafting guys that can be impactful to this team. And it's encouraging. And I tell you what, next year, once we have a new defensive coordinator, seeing the core pieces with Derek Brown and J.C. Horn, it's going to be, I can almost assure you what I think might happen is you're going to have a defensive head coach that's going to get canned. And then their defensive, they're going to have a job as a defensive coordinator. And the Panthers are as attractive of a job as any that's going to be vacated next year.
Yeah, I mean, look at what Dan Morgan had to do. He had to compensate for an exodus of players in Brian Burns and Frankie Louvu and the Jeremy Chan. Then he had to rebuild this defense by putting more players that fit a 3-4 defense for Jero Rivera. And he had to continue to build around and get the most out of Bryce Young and give him everything that he needs to be successful. He got him the offensive line. He got him the wide receivers. Dan Morgan, if we make the playoffs this year, it's because Dan Morgan is looking like the best damn general manager that this team has ever had. Let's go to Chuck from Elizabeth City. If you would like to call in, the number is 252-228-5098. Let's hear from Chuck.
Hey, guys. Chuck from Elizabeth City. I'm freaking fired up, man. I'm excited. This is what I expect. This is what I wanted, man. Bryce looked good. People had a couple of drops. Penalties are still killing us the rest, man. We come through in this game. And I tell you one thing, my fear is next week, Seattle is going to try to win that division. I know we beat the Rams in Green Bay.
Derek Brown's going to be long-term.
Got to try to find a way to win. I don't think Tampa's going to lose to Miami, even if we win. But if one of those scenarios where we win and they win, all we need is a tie the following week. Or if we lose next week and they lose. Probably plays out. It's going to be hard to beat Seattle, but we got to give it an effort, guys. We got to give it an effort. Because if we can win next week, if Tampa loses, we win the division. If they would win too, we'd only need a tie. But it's probably coming down to that last game in Tampa. And that's all we wanted, guys. We're going to be playing a game in January, really a playoff game if you think about it. But our football means something, guys.
Yeah.
It means something. And C3 Podcast, man, you guys have kept it together for us when we've struggled, when we've lost. And there's times I haven't called in because I've been so depressed or miserable. And I'm always turning on and can find you guys, and you hang in there. And that's a lot going on with you guys and what you do. Let's keep pounding, guys.
Keep pounding, Chuck. We appreciate you, man. Look, when the Panthers lose, which is every other week, the C3 Panthers podcast is your therapy session. When the Panthers win, oh, we're your victory circle, baby. This is where you come to celebrate, and we appreciate y'all for rocking with C3 the whole time. Let's take another call.
Hey.
Shit.
You know who the fuck it is. Booyaka! What's Gucci with? My boy, what's Gucci with you? Cody and Lack, I know all that shit you was talking. Hey, what's Gucci with you? CK, and what's Gucci with my white Italian brother? Let's get into it. I want all you fake motherfuckers in that chat right now that was calling the Panthers out all season, that was calling them a bunch of bitches, saying that we couldn't get more than fucking 4 wins, saying that we couldn't do shit with this fucking season, saying that we needed a new QB, a new head coach, a new this, a new that. I know a motherfucker that waved the white flag after week 1 and said that we needed a complete restart this bitch and go back to 0% and restart this shit.
There was a few of them. Gee, baby.
You can't make this shit up, man. Shout out to the fucking Carolina fucking Panthers, man. And I don't want to hear shit about King fucking Bryce not being a fucking game changer, bruh. Because his ability, and I've said this since day one, his ability to escape the fucking pocket is elite. He's a fucking magician. He's Houdini, bruh.
He's been one of the best in the NFL.
Shout out to fucking Latham fucking Ransom for stealing the goddamn game, man. We finally beat the fucking Bucks. Hey, the mission ain't done though yet, boys. It ain't over yet, man. We still got a lot to fucking do to finish this goddamn season. But boy, does this fucking feel good. Fucking beating the fucking Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's all in our hands, boys. It is all in our fucking hands. The world is in the palm of our fucking hands right now, man. Bryce fucking Young played elite. King fucking Bryce. I want to give a shout out to fucking Nalo. I want to give a shout out to Nalo and fucking Jalen Coker for being the only fucking pass catches. Oh, and Jatavion Sanders had his fucking touchdown catch as well. But fucking Jalen Coker and Nalo are the most reliable pass catches that we have on this fucking team. And I'm going to continue to fucking pound the table for a first-round wide receiver to go along with them because extra lotion, we can't depend on that bitch. Be a bona fide hoe. But I ain't going to get into all that. This is a win. I feel great, boys. If y'all call yourself Panthers fans, y'all motherfuckers should be excited because it's been a long time since we've been in this position. Oh, and King Bryce, the first QB since Cam Newton to throw fucking 20 passing touchdowns in a single season, bitch. Yeah, keep pounding, bitch. Hey, my white Italian brother, I'm calling back, G.
Keep pounding, bro. Look,
keep pounding.
Bryce Young, like I said earlier, he's playing his best football late, which is what we need, man. We just need another one against the Seahawks. If we can get another, dude, how about this, boys? Every game from here on out, the rest of this season is a playoff game. All of them. Next week against Seattle, the week after against Tampa, and certainly the final game of the season against, with Seattle and Tampa, and then whoever we end up playing in the playoffs. Like, this is for the heart of Carolina. Like Chuck said before, we have been through so much. Dude, we need this right now.
Mm-hmm. We absolutely do. And folks, y'all know me and G Baby's history. He ain't exactly wrong. And it may not, some folks may not like it, but like that dude in that chat says, here it goes with the over and confident fan or called out. Y'all, it goes both ways. When we lose, half the fan base hides, and when we win, the other half hides. So
yeah,
we're on the way to the playoffs. God be willing. Let's just be one big fan base and be happy and keep pounding, folks. That's what the definition of keep pounding is you keep striving, even though there's obstacles in front of you. You keep pounding, you keep striving.
That's it, man. That's the literal definition of keep pounding. Shout out to Vegas Panthers. Drew says, Dan is drafted well. Just look how many rookies are contributing. And for G Baby, remember, it's still stable boy Bryce until further notice. Hey man, dude, Vegas Panthers dude has been consistent. G Baby has been consistent, but we got a bunch of people in this fan base who stand their ground. Again, the number is 252-228-5098. Let's go to our boy John B. Jenkins and go fish. Oh.
Hey, John B. Jenkins calling in, and holy crap, I'm so excited we won that game because I got to be honest, the last few seconds right before that interception, my son was trying to calm me down. I wasn't getting too upset, but I just, good God, I just didn't trust that defense. But how fucking poetic was it that Ransom redeemed himself at the very end of the game? I mean, last week, I don't remember seeing Ransom hardly any time during that game until that one play where, honestly, I think Shook sold it and whatever. That's last week. But this week, I didn't see Ransom. I don't think I saw Ransom at all during the game until that last play. And holy shit, did he redeem himself? Oh, this kind of ties in, by the way. He went to Ohio State, right? He went to Ohio State. Guess who else went to Ohio State?
He's a Buckeye.
That would be Teddy Ginn Jr. Ted Ginn Jr., a little alternative football news for you as I call in. Ted Ginn Jr. was just named as the head coach of the Columbus Aviators, which is the new franchise in the UFL that's going to be playing this spring. So anyway, there's your tie into that. But hell yeah, Panthers won, and I'm happy for my son because his Bills team won as well. We need a Bills-Panthers Super Bowl in this house. Let me tell you. Anyway, that's all I got for right now. Love you guys. I'm so glad we get to have a victory. A Sunday post-game show. Hey, let's break the trend and let's fucking beat Sam Darnold next week. All right? Isn't that how we lock up the division?
That's it.
Anyway, that's all I got for right now. As always, keep pounding Carolina Panthers. Keep pounding Panthers Roshlaw. Go Fish. Keep pounding C3 Panthers podcast. I love you, John B. Jenkins out.
Bro, how crazy would that be if we ended up getting a Panthers Bills Super Bowl?
Oh, dude, that'd be wild.
Yeah, Panthers South and Panthers North.
And we get to see Bryce Young actually play them for the first time and see how much of a difference that makes going into this. When you have your quarterback at the helm.
Yeah.
Where is the Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl is in Santa Clara, where we lost Super Bowl 50.
Two northern teams in Santa Clara, California. Yeah, that fits it real well. NFL. Bring more Super Bowls to the East Coast. Yeah. Now I want a Bills outdoor Super Bowl. I want an outdoor Super Bowl in Buffalo. That'd be cool. Heavy.
Well, they're opening up a brand new stadium next year. But I don't know. I doubt the NFL will ever bring a whole Super Bowl to Buffalo.
Yeah, too many rich people don't like that snow.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to G Baby with another call.
Hey, shout out to C-Dog. Hey, don't have this big dick in your mouth no more, player. Hey, don't have Bryce Young's dick in your mouth no more, player. Because you was the main one saying, we need to get a competent quarterback. Y'all remember C-Dog? We need to get a competent quarterback. Now, how you looking like how you... And word on the street, C-Dog, you a fucking Falcons fan, my brother. Get it together, G. Hey, shout out to the motherfucking panel, y'all. Hey, it's lit in this bitch. Everyone, go grab a blunt. Go grab some fucking goddamn weed and roll up, and we smoking on that fucking Buccaneers pack this whole entire week. We smoking on that Buccaneers. Fuck the Buccaneers. Succaneers. They back to the motherfucking Succaneers, man. Fuck all of them, man. It's lit in this bitch, y'all. Everyone stand the fuck up, damn it. The Carolina Killer. AKA Mike Evans, where are you at, motherfucker? You got yourself going a little bit early in the game, but the motherfucking defense shut your ass out, bitch. I hate Mike Evans, man. He's been He's been the Carolina killer for damn near a whole decade, y'all. The bank was rocking today. The bank was fucking slapping today, y'all. Damn, G. Hey, shout out to fucking Cool, Calm Dave fucking Canales. Cool, Calm Dave, man. I would like to shout out Ivero because he sealed the win, bro. He got the job done. We still got to look for a new defensive coordinator this coming off season, but, shout out to Evero for getting the job done. A win is a win and a loss is a loss. That's what this league is about. It comes down to wins and losses, and God damn it, we just fucking got our 8th win of the motherfucking season, man. So shout out to my fucking Carolina Panthers. They're not the Carolina Panthers. They're my Carolina Panthers. You dig? Hey, man, shout out to the motherfucking panel. Y'all know who the fuck this is. It's G-Baby. I'm out.
Well, G-Baby's happy. And you're right, Duke Thunder. She probably does call it District me at this point. But only when the Panthers win. Because when the Panthers lose, you will never hear from G-Baby. But shout out to G, man. We all celebrating together here today. Vegas Panthers Drew says, I think G-Baby makes people hate Bryce more. I don't know, man. Y'all have to tell me. Do y'all hate Bryce because G-Baby calls him King Bryce?
No. I think plenty of people hated Bryce well before G-Baby was insufferable when it came to Bryce Young. I think a lot of people have made their decision on Bryce Young prematurely, and it's one of the things I said. It's you can only base your judgment off of what you see on tape, and that first year in my mind was incredibly forgivable. Right there, we had horrible offensive line play, no wide receivers to speak of, to even and that, name me one wide receiver outside of Adam Thielen that you can remember from when Bryce's rookie season. Like, let's be real about it, right? Yeah. It's none of them, and I'd argue that none of them are at a starting position in the league right now, right? So Bryce's first year forgivable. The problem was his second year was forgettable to start out, and because of that, and that's with you having just gotten Xavier Legette in the first round. That's with you having just gotten Deontay Johnson, who we thought was going to be a promising number one wide receiver for us. Hindsight, he maybe Bryce deserved a little more grace than we gave him as well. But there's a lot of things that were going against Bryce, but I said it when it came to, Matt Corral. You can only show what you're able to show. And even if the cards are stacked against you, that speaks to why you need to be incredible. You have to be undeniable. And I think Bryce Young is doing his best to show that he is, given this year and the fact that he has we can't argue it now, right? Bryce Young is undeniably a clutch quarterback. Right.
I mean, look, to echo that, and Bryce when trailing the Bucs today, CK, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns, 114 passer rating.
Right, he's definitely clutch, and I guess I started out as a Bryce disliker because I didn't want to draft him, but we did, and I guess what gets me is those who, when Bryce has these amazing games and these clutch performances, they come out with this. It really wasn't Bryce. It was the defense did this, or it wasn't Bryce. The receiver made a great catch, and it's what I call excuses. So if you have this narrative you want to push, that's anti-Bryce. Figure something else out, y'all. Or listen, hey, if you really truly need to, just hide your Panther gear and cheer for another team. If that's what you really want to do, it's just baffles me. If have a good reason to hate, not a hate just because he's from Alabama and you didn't want to draft him to start with. If you hate Bryce Young because G-Baby loves Bryce Young so much, to me that's a cop out. That's a cop out.
But what I will say about Bryce and this entire team, we need some consistency, man. Dude, imagine how good we'll be feeling next Sunday if the Panthers can beat the Seahawks. By the way, the Seahawks, I believe, are the number one team in the NFC right now after they beat the Rams. So we have a chance to beat the best team in the NFC next Sunday and show everyone that we're for real, that we can actually do this and come away with the victory and take this division and make it ours for the first time since 2015. We need this, damn it. We need this bad. Let's go to our next call.
CK, Tony Dunn, Cody Lack, the C3 Legion. It's the Hope Dilla checking in.
Hope Dilla.
Carolina, Tampa Bay, baby. Hey, I know my voice is hoarse, but I just got to say, keep
Pounding. Let's go.
Man, it felt so good to win this game right here. Oh my gosh, y'all. Like, I'm just thrilled right now. The fact that we still in this. You know, we pushing towards the new year and we still playing meaningful football, baby. We beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hey, y'all.
Enjoy your Hope
the game
Dilla.
ball, I got to say Mike Jackson. How about Mike Jack today? I mean, Jalen Coker balling out, but you know what? Redemption story. Latham Ransom with that last interception. How about that for a redemption story? After potentially costing us the game last week against the Saints, you know, with that penalty, that hit, you know, come up with the game-winning interception. I mean, gosh, y'all, I'm just over the moon right now. T-Mac with big catches. And, you know, even though I get a game ball to Mike Jack, how about Bryce Young? How about this kid, y'all? You know, pulling it together, doing what franchise quarterbacks do. I know Bryce has had his ups and downs, but, you know, for us to be here with a winning record this late in the season and still fighting for the division in late December, we got to talk about that fifth-year option. But, hey, I'll call back on Tuesday night. This the Hope Dilla, baby. Everybody, keep pounding. Let's go.
Let's go. Your music, CK.
To keep pounding.
Woo-hoo! And she knows what's up. And shout out to that little girl. She was born the night that Bryce Young was drafted, wasn't she, CK?
She was. The day Bryce Young was drafted. Panthers were supposed to send me a little special gift, but they didn't. They never did. And then they unfollowed me because of Drone Gate. But nonetheless, yes, she was drafted. She was drafted to the Panthers that night as well.
Shout out to the cutie. You know, hey man, look, this is incredible. This is incredible for us. We're playing the best football that we could possibly play right now. Let's keep rolling with these calls, man. So many good ones, and we keep on getting more. Let's just keep on rolling, boys.
What it do, boys? It's your boy Mike.
What up, Mike?
AKA Supremely Color.
Let's go.
Well, guys, the conspiracy is true. When I don't watch the games, we win. There's not been a game this. I've seen all the losses. I have yet to watch a win, if memory serves me right. Now I didn't watch the Bills game, but I was listening to it on the radio, so I guess that counts. Anyways, hey, this is great. I love seeing the final score. We're in it. Man, needed this, man. Going through some things on the personal level, and this put a jump start in my system. So, hey, I'll be rooting for the Dolphins next week, and let's take down another number one team of the NFC. Let's take down the Seahawks, and I believe we'll be good. If we can't, hey, comes down to that final game, just like I thought it might. And if that's what it takes, it is what it is. Sucks it's not going to be at home, but let's ride this out. This team has gone way beyond my expectations this year. Love to see it. Love that we finally get ours after years of misery. So, hey boys, keep pounding, hold it down. I'll let y'all later.
Mike, love you, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Here for you if you need me, man. Just reach out. Happy the Panthers can make you feel better today. Dude, look, it's that time of year. People get the blues during the holiday season sometimes. Maybe if you're away from family, maybe even if you're with family, you know what I'm saying? But I like the fact that this C3 community, where we keep each other's spirits up. And when these Panthers come away with a W, bro, it's got everybody feeling good. Hey, man, look, how about this? The next call, Pickle, we got a Tampa Bay fan in the calls. Let's see what Tobias has to say.
Yo, this is your favorite Bucks fan, Tobias. Hey, I had to make sure I came in after we took the L. Congratulations to your squad. Y'all was a better team today.
Appreciate you, brother.
One thing about me, even though I live in Phoenix, I grew up in Alabama, and I'm an Alabama fan, and I never gave up on Bryce Young. I believe Canales has to let him swing it and play the way that he played in college. Not just standing in the pocket, but he's a good pocket guy, but let him move around and live with him taking shots. It's like when Bryce Young just let it rip, things have gotten better. And from what I've seen, Jalen Coker may be your most consistent receiver.
I think so too.
He actually struggles with physicality still. And Legette, he's Legette. But congratulations to your squad. The defense has gotten better this year. My GM stinks, and everybody wants to blame Foles for calling cover 0, but the DB should not let a guy run past him when you knew all they were trying to do was throw in the end zone for a kick of the field goal. But again, you guys played a great game, and hopefully week 17 will be for the division title. But again, you guys done a great job this year, and no matter what, just keep stacking wins, building culture, and I think you guys are on the right track. Hey, thanks for taking my call. Keep up the great work, guys.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being gracious and humble. Look, man, this division, it's still anyone's division. I mean, straight up, the Panthers have work to do. We are not done yet. We have to beat Seattle. Tampa Bay has to beat Miami. I'm sure that Miami's going to get the best version of y'all. But, dude, this is still anyone's division, man. What an exciting way to end the year. Boys, did y'all ever think that we would be in the final weeks of the season in a knockdown, drag-out battle to win this division?
No, I don't think so. I think if you would have told me that we were going to start the year 1-3 and we were going to be in sole possession of the NFC South number 1 spot with 2 games left in the season, I would have been like, you're absolutely insane. Because when you looked at our schedule, like I felt like we were going to be good before the season started. But after starting 1-3, it kind of feels like, okay, well, statistically speaking, we're not very likely to make this work. Right. And we needed some help, right? We needed the Bucs to collapse this last half of the season. We needed things to go our way. And they have in some games that they shouldn't. And they haven't in the games that they should. So the bipolar nature of this Panther season is certainly leaving you shocked that we're in this type of a position,
Dude, did y'all see the graphic that Fox put up during the game? They had a seesaw. It was like the seesaw Panthers, and they showed our tendency to win, lose, win, lose. They don't use my verbiage. I call us the bipolar Panthers, CK, because this, we're up or down, and you never know which one it's going to be. There's been a bunch of games that we theoretically should have won, and then we didn't, man. Either that or there were close games that we didn't come away with. We've also had some opportunities where we've beaten teams that we should have had no business beating on paper. I'm talking about the Rams. I'm talking about the Packers. Performances like that. It has us saying, who is this team? Is it the one that beats the Rams, or is it the one that loses to the New Orleans Saints? If we're able to maintain some consistency, we have every opportunity to grab this division and snatch it away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like we said, our first time winning the division in a decade, 10 years. Gosh, how time flies, man. If you would have told us in 2015 that we wouldn't be hoisting a NFC South banner for another decade, but we would have told y'all to go to bed. Let's take another call.
What up, boys? It's Vegas Drew. Good
What's
to
up,
get
Drew?
a win again. Back in first place where we should be. Imagine if we could just beat those bum-ass Saints. We'd be in the playoffs already. But
Yeah, that makes that more painful.
Oh, my fault.
What up, boys? It's Vegas Drew. Good to get a win again. Back in first place where we should be. Imagine if we could just beat those bum-ass Saints. We'd be in the playoffs already. But, it is what it is. Hey, win's winning. It's good to be 2 games left in the season and still have something to cheer for, so that's nice. I know what we're just talking about as we were talking about XL. I was like, man, my problem with that dude is, like, he's just blessed with all the physical gifts that you could want. He's like DK Metcalf with less talent. Like, he just can't, like, he's so poor field awareness and situational awareness. You can't even really assess. He runs good routes. He just can't complete it. Like, he's just half-assed. Like, I don't know what it is. Can't catch sometimes. He catches with his body, as we all said. He just makes too many mistakes, and he's hard. You can't rely on somebody like that in the clutch. That's why we see Coker and T-Mac getting a lot of the balls. I always read people in the chat, T-Mac drops the ball a lot, too. I was like, there's a big difference of dropping a wide open post pounder, like hits you in the hands and there's nobody around you, because XL is so like physically gifted. The dude's wide open, hits him and he drops it. Like, that could have been a big play. There's a guy hanging on his arms. He's trying to catch it one-handed. Yeah, he drops some of those. Most of his drops are someone draped on him, and some of them could have been pass interference calls.
Yeah,
that is
fair.
like, no one gets real upset there. They're like, come on, rookie. I feel like, some more seasoning in the NFL for him. He could get rid of that. This is like year 3 for Legette. Like, dude, catch a wide open ball with nobody around you. It's not rocket science. Happy to see Ransom get the game sealer after that BS last week. Keep seeing where we're going. Another game where I have to throw a shot at Bryce because this is what I do. Another game where he just can't get to 200 yards. He's just mid. Like I said, I'm not complaining about winning. It's just that we never seem to put anybody away. And that's like frustrating for me. I don't know about anybody else. Like, I feel like we sort of dominated this game. And in the end, we have to have an interception at the end of the game just to stop it from going into overtime or losing. So I would just like to see some consistency, even if we don't win next week against Seattle. Maybe we could, gauge yourself against a better team, better defense. So maybe you do some good things and try to keep a balance and not give away so many possessions. But hopefully.
So, look, when it comes to Bryce, I feel like, when we drafted him, we felt like we were going to get potentially an elite game manager. Well, dude, he is managing these games, is he not? He is giving us an opportunity to win football games, especially at the end, is he not? I think these games have been a little needlessly close. I feel like our defense plays off coverage at some of the worst possible times, but yet here we are on offense. Bryce will give us a chance to win the game, and at this point, I really just don't think that you can ask for more. I'm not even saying this as an insult. I feel like we kind of know who Bryce is. Maybe he can get even better next season, but right now, I think as long as we are managing to win football games, it's tough to continue to be hard on Bryce when he is doing enough. Is he throwing for over 200 yards? No, he's not. But if he doesn't need to in order for us to win, then I don't know. What else can we even say about it?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you're good. You're good.
Well, I was going to say, and then when it comes to Excel, we talked about this a little bit earlier. It's so important for your quarterback and for your offense in general to have a number one and a number two wide receiver. And there are some teams that have two number one wide receivers. Like, that's how good their second option is. The Panthers are nowhere near that. They're just not. And maybe Xavier can turn it on and show us a better version of himself. But right now, I'm sorry, Xavier Legette has really, really, really made our expectations of him just crash back down to earth. Whereas I feel like most fans probably feel like he might not even be on this team in a couple of seasons. Like, he needs a career, rejuvenation. I mean, I don't know what you would rejuvenate it to. It hasn't been great. But even compared to last year, he's not the player that he was then. We need more out of XL.
Yeah. When we drafted XL last year, and Dan Morgan said the reason why they traded up to get him was they knew they wanted that fifth-year option because they knew he was raw and he had to be developed. Now, you could go into the argument and say that maybe they shouldn't have traded up to get him if he was that raw. That's a whole new different argument to me. But nonetheless, as far as on the field now, last year he shouldn't have been on the field anyway, not that much, because he wasn't ready and he got thrown into the package because of the Deontay Jackson situation. And this year, let's be real. If Adam Thielen hadn't have been traded, if we would have had the depth we thought we were going to have when we entered camp, how would he still be your would he still be a starting wide receiver? Who knows? But I still think a lot of the reason why I don't see any way, shape, or form Xavier Legette is out off this team next year. I know some people think this will be his last year here. I don't think that they've traded up to get him. He's going to be here next year. He might not be a starter, but he will be here next year, at least the beginning of it.
Yeah. Let's take another call.
They love us. They love us not. They love us. They love us not. But
What
this
up,
fucking week, they love
Christian?
us. Damn, bro. I just want to call in and say, I've been critical. I speak my mind. I say my truth out loud to whoever listens, screaming to the void. But Bryce did play a good game, man. That's the kind of game I want to see him play. And it always seems to happen when they can find things downfield, maybe a little further than 5 yards or right around the line of scrimmage. So, but yeah, man, he's definitely learned, or at least showing that he can manage the game from the pocket, maneuver, proper footwork. I'm still a little hesitant on the zip on the ball. He just doesn't have a lot of torque. But hey, man, it works enough to win right now. I'd still like to see some improvement, but he's definitely a spark on the offense. Because I was complaining in the first half where it was just so difficult, as usual, just to get any kind of decent passing game going, which you don't necessarily, quote unquote, need if you're a running team. But when they're shutting down the run, you need to have be able to set up a passing game, and I was glad to see it. Anywho, yeah, I think we can beat Seattle, especially at home. It'd be fun to see. It's going to be fun to see later.
It will be fun to see, man. Consistency is, I think, what we're looking for right now. We're looking for this team to take these emotions that we're feeling right now and not let us down next week. But boys, can I just have a moment of transparency and honesty? I can easily see this division coming down to the final game of the season. can't miss football. Now, I don't know if there's enough time, CK, for them to flex us into a primetime game, a primetime spot, but I feel like they would probably want to if we ended up being, when you're in. Yeah, I feel like they're probably going to want to flex us.
Yeah, I mean, it's if we're in that type of a situation, it also depends upon what the other game slate looks like, right? If there's a lot of teams that have already clinched the division, like the Eagles, obviously you're not really worried about the NFC East. You're not really worried about, but if it's the NFC North that's wide open or the NFC West that's wide open, then yeah, I think you're potentially still taking those guys. NFC West is like powerhouse right now, so I think that they're gonna, if they're in the 1 o'clock slot, I think they're flexing them to 4 or even the Sunday night football game. I don't think that they can flex the prime time right now, though. I think they just did that. I think because they took them a while to actually put the date together with our final 2 games. We only got that announcement 2 weeks ago during our bye week. So I don't think that they can flex prime time this late, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I heard that too. I don't think that they can flex us, but I agree with Jake. I hope they don't flex us. I like
Right.
the 1 p.m.
I've heard that they just need 2 weeks notice and they can flex you. But I like y'all. I don't know that 100%. But I think the chances of them flexing us to a primetime game, Google seems to think it's pretty high, but who knows about that?
Yeah, I want to address this comment. It says Canales doesn't seem to trust Bryce. He'll probably select his own QB in the near future. I don't know if that's like a legitimate belief that people have, but I argue that we were on 3rd and 2 in the end of the second half in field goal range with 8 seconds left in the game, and they put the ball in Bryce Young's hands, and he scored the touchdown to T-Mac deep in the end zone. Against the Rams, twice on 4th and 1, instead of running the ball, they put the ball in Bryce's hands, and they both turned out to be touchdowns. I would argue that they might trust Bryce more than they should. Like, I don't think that I think Canales has an incredible amount of trust in Bryce Young. Like, I really don't. I don't think that there's any weight or there's any evidence that is to the contrary of that at all, really. Like, even in the loss that we took to the 49ers, right? 4th down, we were on the goal line. What did they do? They put the ball in Bryce's hands, right? There is no scenario. Like, there is nothing that I can, maybe early in the season, you could have made that argument. Maybe, something along those lines, but I don't think there's any evidence to that.
Also, what did y'all make of that Bryce Young designed run? It was later in the game.
Yeah.
And I just find it so funny, though, that they won't do a quarterback sneak on 4th and 1. But they did make it a point to run Bryce today, which is just sort of wild to me.
But I think it's always options. I think they're always going to allow him, because it's going to be based on if the mic that they're trying to read is going to bite on the run, or if he's going to try to go after Bryce. I think it's always the RP, or at least the option play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe there are options. I don't believe it's necessary. Okay, Bryce, you have to run this play, but it depending on what Bryce sees on the defense, whether he can run or not. I mean, I don't. The quarterback sneaks are. I mean, I'm not certain. Bryce is 5'10". I'm not certain he'll get the quarterback first down in a quarterback sneak anyway. But anyway, that's like Canales said last week. They're trying to figure it out, and I'm like, y'all, you've been in this stuff for 32 games. You've been a Panther coach for 32 games. You just now figured out you need to do something. I mean, come on.
All right, let's take another call.
What's up, C3? Matt, excuse me. This is Matt in Greensboro. Merry Christmas to C3 Nation. And Merry Christmas to Panthers Nation. And we just got the best Christmas present from our Carolina Panthers. They went out there, took some names, kicked some ass, come out with the win over them damn Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield trying to sit there and play this. Oh, they cut me. I have a chip on my shoulder because the Panthers cut me. Shut the fuck up, man. You asked to be cut, and you suck when you play here. So screw you, man. We got the win today thanks to your interception at the end of the game. Thank you very much. You threw that ball right to Latham Ransom. Thank you very much, Baker Mayfield. As far as the Carolina Panthers go, hell yeah, we're in first place in the NFC South. Right ahead of us. Playoffs staring right in front of us. All we got to do is go out there, win 2 more. Just win 1 more against the Bucs in the last game. We'll see what happens. But, hey, I love what this team's doing, all the youth. As you guys mentioned, Dan Morgan is knocking it out of the box. He's killing it, man. These draft picks, free agents, everything he's doing, awesome. Shout out. Hell of a job by Dan Morgan and this coaching staff. Yeah, Canal still pisses me off with some of his play calls. But, hey, man, he's got this team believing, and that's all that matters. He has changed the culture of these Carolina Panthers from a team that was always talking about who we're going to draft at this time of year. Now we're talking about the damn playoffs. The freaking playoffs for the Carolina Panthers. Hell yeah, let's go. Keep pounding.
Hell yeah. Keep pounding. Panther Pickle, I know you got to get out of here. Give me your dab on them player of the week and give me your towel of shame player of the week from this performance.
All right, I want to give the dab on to Nick Scorton. I think he did an excellent job. My other one is going to be number 26, Chow Smith-Wade. Consistently today, he seemed like he was out of position. I know he's just a nickel corner, but there's times we needed him to be in the correct position, or that's what I saw to me. So, yeah, that's my 2 picks.
All right, Panther Pickle. Enjoy that W today, man.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, keep pounding, brother. Have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Keep pounding, big dog.
All right. Appreciate Panther Pickle for stopping through the post game. CK, you want to take another call?
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. 5 more calls.
Yes, motherfucker, let's go. Let's go. All right. Panthers got that fucking dub. I'm a little sick right now, so my
what up, JJ?
My words ain't coming out properly, but I'm
Feel better,
overgrown
brother.
with joy, so I had to call in. Motherfucking Bryce Young came in through the clutch again. We got a game-winning field goal. And then we beat Tampa 8-7, excuse me. Listen, main thing I want to say about this call is just y'all got to give Dave Canales his props. Given where we were 2 years ago, given where we are now in the moment, I understand things haven't been perfect, but it's ridiculous how people bring up his flaws for him not being perfect and like, oh, this could have been better, this could have been better, that could have been better.
It's hysterical.
I mean, we got to understand, like, things are going to get better as time goes on. He don't have a God squad, so things aren't going to be perfect for him to work with, you know? And he's going to slowly but surely put it together just like these players on the field are putting it together. And damn it, you can tell Dave Canales, even though he ain't the most hoorah, rah, rah guy, he doesn't have that big, super macho energy or nothing like that maybe like Steve Wilkes brought. But you could tell he's authentic. You could tell he cares a lot. And you could tell he knows what he's doing because the results are reflecting. So you just got to give props where props are due and credit where credit's due. Man, that's my damn coach. He's brought us a long way. The Panthers are 8-7 and the firm driver's seat of this division. And I don't know. I got a feeling about next week too, you know. So it's a good thing about that, man. I hope everyone has a great holiday season for Christmas. That's like, 3-4 years in a row that the Sunday before Christmas,
we had a good ass showing out at home. You know, we had that Lions game, the Packers game a few years ago. Last year, I can't remember who we played the week before Christmas, but I'm pretty sure we played good last year as well. It was a Cardinals game. But yeah, so easy dub, made some money off this game too, bet it with somebody else on another podcast. That was funny, or that was good, because they's a Tampa fan who hosts that. And, took his money, had to take his money, you know. Panthers had to take
Get that
his
money,
money,
Playboy.
So, good dub, C3JJ out. Thank you, C3 Podcast. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding. CK, I feel like we have to give kudos to Dave Canales. You know, he's had some boneheaded moments this year, but I feel like one of the things that he doesn't get enough credit for is his ability to respond. You know, when we didn't run the ball enough against the 49ers, he then came out and just ran all over the Rams, you know. I feel like he will make adjustments when adjustments need to be made. He's continued to put T-Mac in the slot more, which I think is a great thing. You know, he is in his second year, and he has us competing to literally win the NFC South. I think this has to hearten you towards what Canales can be in his future here in Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think that there has been a shift in the way that he's taken his approach to this team, and what I mean in that is ever since that first Saints game, when it was they were just forcing us to throw the ball, and we just were trying to run the ball incessantly, even in the face of it failing. And I think since that moment, there has been a change in play calling to where we have decided to be an aggressive down the field passing attack that we haven't seen under Bryce Young his entire career.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, what we're seeing now is shots down the field, Bryce Young taking risks, and most of the time they're paying off, right? That's the thing that's great about this. And so Dave Canales certainly deserves some credit. He deserves some criticism for the games that we have lost, and there's no debating that. I think he probably would agree with that. But at the end of the day, what we saw this week, coming back from what happened last week, remember last week was, you know, there were some things that were questionable as far as like play calling. But one of the more concerning things was our lack of discipline. And to be able to follow that up with a showing like this in one of the most important games that we've played as a Panthers organization in years, since 2022 at least, you know, dude, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better play calling, you know, game from him today.
Yeah. And CK, even earlier this year, I don't feel like the play calling has been the worst thing about about Dave. To me, it's just the situational stuff.
Yeah.
You know, putting our team in a position to win. And then even in some of the losses, I feel like we were doing enough and the play calls were out there to be made, but it was just a lack of execution. And again, there is some blame that you do put on the coach for that, but Canales has been good. We've certainly had much worse in recent years than Frank Reich and Matt Rule. I think Canales is an ascending head coach. He's still young, and I don't even think that the play calling has been the worst thing about Dave this year. It's just boneheaded stuff. Like last week, not kicking the field goal on 4th and 1. I understand why you would go for it. You've been good on 4th and 1, but handing the ball off and starting 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, it didn't make sense to me. But the dude responds. He takes criticisms and then he moves on, and I think that that's a good thing, and that's the only thing that you can really hope for at this point. Yep. All right, 4 more calls.
Oh, I almost motherfucking forgot, man. You pay the fucking ransom. You reap the fucking ransom. You lay the ransom, bro. Lathan Ransom again, who's been an impact to this team. Motherfucker, let's go.
JJ's an Ohio State fan, by the way.
I've always fucked with Lathan Ransom. I'm glad he's on the damn team. He brings something special to this team. And all those who was talking shit about his hit last week, that was a bullshit call. Y'all better fucking keep that same energy, man, because he done sealed the deal today, all right? He done sealed the deal. Anyways, keep pounding.
Keep pounding, brother. Let's go to Matt from Greensboro.
Hey guys, this is Matt in Greensboro again. I forgot to mention something. I'm still fucking pissed they couldn't beat the damn Saints at least once.
I know it does hurt.
It'd be over. We would be division champs today. You couldn't beat the fucking Saints one damn time. But anyway, still got it ahead of us. Keep fucking pounding.
CK, I will say this. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but that 4th and 1 call last week against the Saints, that there might have been way more on the line in that one call than we even knew. Like, let's just say the Panthers do narrowly miss the playoffs this year, knowing that we could have wrapped it up against the Saints, and then we beat the Bucs the next week. Dude, if we end up missing the playoffs now after that, that's going to be one hell of a moment to think back
It's
on.
going to feel so. It's going to feel. I said, in the middle of that game-winning drive, I told you if we win this game, it's we're going to be excited. Don't get me wrong, but that game last week is going to hurt a lot more because right now we could already be celebrating as NFC South fans had we not just. Number one, had we not had refs really impact that game in a negative way.
Yeah.
But also had we been able to perform as a defense in that game and catch some important throws that Bryce was throwing in that game. Dude, there were so many things that if you go back, you wish we had back in that one. But now,
yes,
bro, we still are in control of our destiny. We have been ever since, right? We've been in control of our destiny for the past 6 weeks. Right, it's no matter what the Bucs did, if we could win out, we would win the division, right? Or if we did this or did that, and there are times when we've failed in that mission and being able to control our destiny, but we have found our way when it mattered the most. We're making it work, and I'm not sure how I feel about our chances of being able to say we're NFC South champions by the end of next Sunday. But there is a chance this time next week we're going to be able to say we own the South at least for 2025. So I'm ready for it, bro.
Dude, we just have to take care of business. And dude, listen, we're going to really, let's say we do get that scenario where we beat Seattle and Tampa loses to Miami. Bro, that is, dude. We're going to be going into the playoffs having beaten the best team. No, not just one of the best teams, not just two of the best teams.
3.
But 3 of the best teams that the NFC has to offer. That's some energy going into the playoff game.
People call the Panthers right now the Giant Slayers, right? We're winning the games we shouldn't win. Well,
yeah.
That's exactly what type of a team you want to be if you're going into the playoffs because you're going to be playing all the teams you shouldn't beat and as underdogs. And I can tell you with a great deal of certainty, and everybody in the chat knows it. Everybody on this panel, when we have a full squad, knows it. There is not a team that we're going to be facing where they're going to say the Panthers are the favorite at any point in the playoffs if we make it, right? Yeah. Not a single one. Every single one of them are going to be. I
wouldn't want it any other way.
And I agree.
We're the best when we're slept on.
Yeah, I agree. I think, again, it's the poetry of this season can't be understated. It legitimately cannot be understated. We have gone through one of the things that I make this is akin to. So Bryce Young has had, I think it's 7 game-winning drives this season alone. He needs one more to beat Jake Delhomme's season of he had 8 in one season, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Now that was the cardiac cats of our first Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me that these are not the cardiac cats?
Dude, I mean, I feel like every game It's
Dude,
on the
every
line at the
game.
very end of the game, the fourth
Every
quarter.
game.
We're
Every
fighting
game.
for it. And
If
dude,
you look at the
look how
point
many
differential.
game-winning drives Bryce Young already has in his career.
It's a significant number, admittedly. And he's got. I think he said he needs one more. I don't know who to believe, because at one point we were told he holds the record now of most. He's the youngest player, or maybe it's not the youngest player, or the youngest player to hit the number that he has. But he's on the verge. He needs one more to beat Justin Herbert for most game-winning drives before turning 25.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how that goes. But I would rather us not have a game-winning drive situation over the next 2 weeks if I can help it. But there's not a quarterback that I would rather have at the helm than Bryce Young right now. I mean, if you're talking about game-winning drive scenarios.
CK, it's the Cardiac Cats, man. You already know what's coming. And dude, like I said, look, I do think that we can beat Seattle next week, but I feel like just knowing this team, it's going to come down to the wire, man. It's going to come down to the wire in Tampa. We're going to be underdogs, but we haven't been the best road team either. So, I think all of the smart money is probably going to be on Tampa, which is why, and me and you brought it up today when we were watching the game, CK, that even winning today, they gave our odds of winning the division, what was it, like 41%? Yeah, that's insane. Like,
it's disrespectful, dude. Like,
it is.
It's disrespectful for a couple of reasons I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I think this is an important thing.
Yeah.
We have been admittedly the reason why that is. But I will say, and I'm fine with the disrespect, but the idea that we have an equal, we're the Bucs and the Panthers are in the exact same situation, no matter what the next two games, no matter whether we lose next week and they win next week, that it's always going to come down to that last game of the season, right? The difference here, so number one, I think it should be a 50-50 shot because we just beat them. They're on a skid. There is no reason why you should say they have a better shot at winning the division than we do. Okay. That's number one. Number two is it is likely going to come down to who wins that game. That is it. Bottom line is going to be who wins that game against the Bucs next on the 18th or week 18 of the season. However, we have an actual chance at winning next week and the Bucs do not. Like we have more chances to win the division than the Bucs do. We can win the division by not playing them again. They have to win against us to win the division. Period.
Yeah. Dude, we control our own destiny. And that's the thing. If we would have lost, even though we still would have had a chance to make the playoffs, we wouldn't have controlled anything. Because even if we would have beaten Seattle, even if we beat Seattle next week, if we would have lost today, it doesn't matter. We would still have needed, we would have had to have had Miami beat them next week.
Yeah.
Whereas now, everything is still out in front of us. Everything is still ours. But I will reiterate, Tony, CK, we are a better team when we're the underdogs. And I feel like every single game that we play from now until the end of the season for the Panthers, we are going to be the underdogs.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason, I think the main reason we're going to be the underdogs against the Bucs are because we're going to be playing them at their house on the last game of the season. I think it's pretty clear why we're going to be the underdogs against the Seahawks, as they look like a powerhouse after that win against the Rams on Thursday night, which, by the way, what a freaking game. And so I'm just hoping that we can get Sam Darnold to show up in a way that is a little bit more reminiscent of his time in Carolina and the Jets. But we'll see. It's going to be. I think we're going to play up to our competition. But I think we need to make this a statement game too. Against the Seahawks, but
have to. And being the best team in the NFC, dude, I'm telling you, people are going to have to look at this team a lot differently.
Yes.
2 more calls, and we are out of here, bro.
Hope Dilla with a quick second call. Hey, I was thinking about something I wanted to run by y'all.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles with Tampa Bay. Of course, I'm so excited that we won this game. But let's say a scenario comes up where,
I'm down for it.
Tampa ends
I
up
know what he's about to
clinching
say.
the division, right? Like, do y'all think that regardless Todd Bowles is done? Like, I really want to know y'all thoughts on that, because I feel like a shift might be happening in the NFC South. It seems as if, of course, our Panthers, as well as possibly the Saints, are ascending, while the Falcons and the Buccaneers are descending. And I really think that Todd Bowles is on his way out regardless, like whether they win the South or not. I'm just so excited for our Panthers still, man. Huge win today. Like I said, this call was going to be short. Give me your thoughts on that, though. Everybody, keep pounding.
No, that's a great call. I mean, listen, Todd Bowles has a Super Bowl to his name. I mean, I can see this both ways, CK, because on one hand, like, if they just narrowly miss the playoffs this year, then they will have they won the division, the past 3-4 years in a row. Like, they have been consistently winning this division, like I said, the past 3 or 4 years in a row. But I also see from the perspective, CK, that it's hard for them to just go on a downward spiral and then to continue to lose games at the end of games. It wouldn't surprise me if this was the end of Todd Bowles. However, I would like to be at least a little bit gracious. I think that the guy has been a very winning coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, he hasn't gotten it done in the playoffs with the Bucs, but I do think that the dude deserves a little bit of credit for that team basically owning the NFC South the past few seasons.
Well, he does, but he also he's one of the only coaches in the NFL that inherited a good team already, right? And he was able to basically get the Bruce Arians Bucs team that had Tom Brady and had and then he had Mike Evans and all this stuff. So he's not had the ability to say he's been able to build a team from bottom up, right? He hasn't. I think the argument most Bucs fans are going to have regarding Todd Bowles is that he hasn't proven that he is a coach that is capable of being the reason why a team is going from being okay to great, right? He hasn't been the difference maker. And Bucs fans are calling for him to be, taken off of the
I'm sure they
staff. It's I mean, when you have the massive deterioration of a team going from where they started the season when Baker Mayfield was an MVP candidate and all of these great things were being said about this team to winning or losing 7 of the past 8 games. Like, that's a massive implosion. So that's absolutely crazy. We've got some people asking about Virginia. I grew up in Bedford there, Tyler. But I'm in Roanoke myself.
Yeah, it says not a ton of Panthers fans here in Virginia, I'm sure. Hey, man, that's
not a ton, but he's got Hampton Roads. You got a bit of a distance on me there, Brian. I'm not quite over on that side. I'm a little bit closer to North Carolina, but also West Virginia on this side of Virginia. So
dude, that's what the C3 Legion is here for, man. If you are not surrounded by Panthers fans, well, the C3 Panthers podcast is the place for you, man. Be a part of this incredible community. Also, real quick, before I forget, I wanted to thank Scott Studs for being a brand new super fan of the C3 Panthers podcast. We appreciate your patronage. And CK, what do you say we take the last call, give our dab on them picks and our towel of shame, and then we get out of here, bro?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Gentlemen, who does your game ball go to for this game? I tell you, for me, it's going to go to that hot shit, badass motherfucker, Brian Fitzgerald. This kicker keeps nailing 48-yard field goals like magic. Kicked 3 field goals today, and another game winner for this rookie field goal kicker. What a diamond in the rough the Carolina Panthers have found. Bye-bye.
Bye. What a perfect call, CK, to transition us from the rest of the show to our game ball and, the towel of shame and our player of the game. It is that time. CK, in this winning performance, let's do towel of shame first so that we end on a positive note. Who are you giving your towel of shame to today?
Man, I have to give it to. I think I have to give it to Baker Mayfield. Towel of shame's going to Baker, and that is not because I think he played a horrible game, but they tried to remove him from the equation as much as they possibly could, to the tune of him only having 40 first half yards. I think 7 pass attempts in that first half, which is kind of ridiculous. So I think I have to give it to him because when they had to force him to be a part of the equation, that's when that interception happened there to seal the deal. Even though the Panthers defense did start to kind of feel like they were crumbling a little bit there towards the end, just like they did last week against the Saints when we needed them most. But it's got to go to Baker Mayfield just because of the way the game ended.
Yeah, man, dude. I'm going to give my towel of shame. I wanted to do Mike Evans, but dude, fuck Baker Mayfield, bro. Baker Mayfield was talking shit to Panthers players during the game today. Dude, he's such an asshole, man. Like, I understand why fans of his love him, but dude, he is not a Panther anymore. I was never a Baker bottom, and I'm so proud of that. Ice up to Baker Mayfield. You're getting my towel of shame, CK. So Tony's not here, so we don't have to talk about some dude's balls or whatever. We don't have to, and frankly, we won't. So let's give our dab on them pick of the week. Who you dabbing on today, CK?
Man, I'm gonna give it to Bryce Young, man. He showed up. He didn't need to be a 400-yard passer today, but he did need to be clutch. And there were multiple times today when you needed that ball to be exactly where it went, and it was more often than not a very accurate throw. Bryce Young he showed up big time today, and he to the tune of 2 touchdowns that both were magical. In a moment, whether it's 2-point convert or the 2-minute drill there at the end of the first half, or that pass where he had to scramble to find JT Sanders in the back of the end zone wide open after just making dudes miss left and right. It was a magical game for him, and maybe not as impressive as the Rams game with those some of those fourth down touchdown passes that he threw to Ted McMillan and Coker, or was it? I can't remember. But yeah, it was Bryce Young, man. He showed up big time today with his legs too.
CK, you and I are simpatico. To me, and I don't even feel like we touched on it enough tonight, CK. There really has not been a run game for the Panthers. Like, we have not been running the ball very well in recent weeks. Yeah. And Bryce Young and our receivers have stepped up in a big way. Big way. I feel like you have to give it to Bryce. He's been incredibly clutch. And
I also think it's fair to give it to Lathan Ransom. We can give him an honorable mention. Lathan Ransom to come in after last week's debacle and seal this game when it mattered more than it ever had. I think he deserves a great deal of flowers as well. So, if you were going with Bryce, I'll switch mine up and I'll go with Lathan Ransom.
But dude, you know what? Like, I feel like we can be overly gracious today. There's a bunch of players who deserved it. Nick Scordon was badass today. I feel he had the best game of his entire career today.
in multiple facets, not just like
yeah,
as a
for
pass rusher.
sure.
Run defense, the recognizing the screen and forcing Baker to throw the ball into the ground. There were multiple moments today where Nick Scorton was the reason the play broke down, and so he absolutely deserves some credit too. But I just think, poetically speaking, Lathan Ransom deserves some flowers given what happened last week.
For sure, dude. Lathan Ransom, T-Mac, Fitzgerald. Dude, how about Dan Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this, like we said earlier, CK, this is what I feel is going to be the best draft class in Panthers history. I mean, from top to bottom. I mean, we have so many contributors that we drafted this year. Dude, Dan is the man. Love it, love it, love it. C3, we will be back on Tuesday night before Christmas on Thursday. Everyone enjoy this victory, man. C3 Legion, we love y'all. Y'all deserve this. Panthers fans, we deserve this. And y'all are great, man. We love y'all. This has been another edition of the C3 Postgame Show. We will be back Tuesday night at 9 p.m. to preview the Panthers against the Seattle Seahawks. C3 Legion, we love y'all. Until next time, keep pounding.
Keep pounding.